So one of the areas that we have found to be really important in alliance management and working with alliance teams is the whole area of conflict management. And the reason why this is so important in alliances is because by definition, if you think about what is an alliance, you've got minimum two entities that are trying to come together to innovate in the marketplace with a new solution. And if you're really engaged in the creative process, brainstorming, looking at options, critically analyzing those options, and making decisions about solutions, by definition, you're going to have disagreement. And if you don't have disagreement, then you're in trouble. You're not really managing the creative process. And so for us, it's been a critical skill to work with alliances on how do you identify when you're in conflict, what path you're taking in that conflict, and how to get into a constructive response. So let me give you an example. I was working with an alliance, big pharma and biotech, and we used a conflict dynamics assessment. Gave the assessment to each individual on each of the teams, came together, had a team profile for each of the alliance partners, and what we found is that the one company had very much a win-win approach to conflict management. If they got into conflict, their immediate tendency as a team, not necessarily by individual, but as a team was to say, okay, where are we in conflict, where are we in agreement, where are we in disagreement, and how can we create a win-win solution? That was reflective of the company's culture. The other partner was much more of an entrepreneurial, had much more of an entrepreneurial culture, but their tendency was to have conflict avoidance. So if they got into, because it was a very, even though it was an entrepreneurial company, it was run by a chairman and a family-owned company, and you just didn't disagree with the chairman, and so that created a culture of conflict avoidance. So they came together with very different approaches to conflict management. And so the first thing that we did was use the profile to talk about, okay, what is the profile, where does it come from, no right or wrong for either side, but if we're going to work together and we're going to create innovative solutions for the marketplace, what are the opportunities and challenges with these two profiles? And it was a fascinating discussion, and it was a challenge for me as the facilitator to keep them out of defending their profile or attacking the other company's profile, and to really say, look, you're in even disagreement about your profiles, let alone how to use them in the creative process. So that's how you make, in fact, the webinar that I've done for ASAP is how do you get great collaboration without good conflict? You have to have good conflict to get great collaboration. So it's a critical alliance management skill, and one that I don't really see a lot of alliance teams putting much of an investment into that. And so I would advocate strongly for, whether or not it's using webinars or workshops or whatever, to really teach your alliance team members how to manage good conflict.